Mike, there's a lot of exciting research going on at Cybin. What does the R&D roadmap look like in the coming months and years? And where do you see the biggest opportunities, challenges, and risks?
So one aspect of our research is to look at the natural products and then see if is there a way that we can make these easier to use or more effective when you use them. More importantly, also get them through the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA approval process, so that they can become prescription medications that can be reimbursed.
Well, and this is a significant roadblock to broad adoption.
Exactly. The second thing, which I think is really important, is that there's a recognition that using the psychedelics will change the way that we address the whole mental health issues. There's a lot of hope that not just can we make a better psychedelic, but can we use the psychedelics in a way that makes a bigger impression on the big problem of mental illness.
Well, and all those people that are not treatable today would become in the population of people that are treated.
Exactly, yes.
Well, absolutely from an individual standpoint, but from a macro standpoint, economically,
yeah, exactly.
There's an economic productivity cost
Huge,
that's very significant.
Cost, yeah.
Well, one of the things that's amazing is you're moving very quickly at Cybin through the different stages of drug development. And normally there's tens, hundreds of millions of dollars of costs, and in many cases, decades involved in getting these to market. What do you think the secret sauce is that's enabling you to get through these processes so much more quickly?
Two things that help us a lot. One is that the Cybin team is very experienced. So a lot of people that have joined us are, like myself, have been doing this for quite a while. And so, for example, from taking a concept from the bench to the clinic, typically in a pharmaceutical company would take 3 to 5 years. We did it in 18 months. And that driving force is doing it with the experienced people, but then contracting out a lot of that work to groups that can do that quickly.
Well, beyond the treatment for depression, there's promise in psychedelics with PTSD, with anxiety,
also
with inflammation.
And also, very interestingly, a very big opportunity in substance use disorders, so alcoholism, tobacco, possibly the opiates too.
Of all of those different areas that you could focus, you're a small team, it's a relatively new company. How are you prioritizing that within the R&D framework?
We're looking at this in sort of two different ways. So the very first compound that we're working with, which is CYB003, which is the psilocybin analog, that one we're focusing on the major depressive disorder because there's already a very good evidence that psilocybin works
so it's
well
effective.
In that. The second product, which is CYB004, which is the active ingredient of ayahuasca, and there we're looking at focusing that on anxiety disorders. But as we go forward, we're taking a slightly different approach by looking at the disease and then seeing from our portfolio of compounds that we're developing, which would be the most suitable for that disease, rather than saying, okay, well, we know something about this where psychedelics work. The future will, I think, give us the possibility to tailor the drug for the disease.
And where does technology enter that molecule design process exactly?
So it's really at 3 levels. One, there's obviously some very significant chemical development. So we make modifications to the molecules in such a way that improves their bioavailability, makes them easier to take, reduces their duration of action if you want something shorter, or changes that make it something longer acting. So chemistry is sort of the first technology. And one of those chemistries is around this concept of what's called deuteration, which is where you replace some of the hydrogens with deuterium atoms or heavy hydrogen. And that makes the molecules much more stable. The second technology is really based on how you formulate them, how you make them into tablets or pills or whatever you're going to do. And then the third technology, which is very important, is how do you treat the patient, going back to that idea of your drug and your psychotherapy.
The combination.
The combination. We're working very diligently on making that combination a much more efficient process. So you've got the drug being developed into a well-controlled process. You've got the psychotherapy developed into a well-controlled process. You bring the two together, and now you've got an effective therapy.